I'm Reverend Eric Lee, and I'm the president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference of Greater Los Angeles. The Southern Christian Leadership Conference is the only organization founded by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It was founded for the purpose of bringing attention to and addressing the issues of social and economic injustice that exists in our communities. The greatest civil rights issue of today is the failure of public education for Black and brown students. One of the greatest disparities can be found in the achievement gap between white and Asian students and the Black and brown students in our inner cities. White and Asian students are performing at 4 and 5 grade levels higher than Black and brown students. A 7th grade student is operating at a 4th grade level and will not catch up to grade level comprehension and performance without the proper resources given to our inner city schools. Each student is supposed to receive a certain amount of funds. In the inner city, with students who have the greatest need, for whatever the reason may be, maybe English is a second language, maybe they come from social economic disparities in the community, it may be that we just didn't have the quality of teaching to help students learn at the pace they should learn. They have categorical funds that are designed to supplement the core curriculum and to give those students in the inner city a better quality education so they can catch up and be at the same grade level as their white and Asian counterparts.
Jack O'Connell, and I'm the State Superintendent of Public Instruction for the state of California. What's at risk here is not only the personal and the social well-being of all of our students, but really economically as well. We need to close the achievement gap for moral reasons, social reasons, and today it's an economic imperative that we close the achievement gap as well.
I'm Monica Garcia, president of the school board at LAUSD. So I believe we have to have a standard quality throughout the district. We have to have transparency around resources and resource allocation. And I think we have to find a way to meet students' needs.
Hello, I'm Richard Vladovic, the proud board member of District 7 in the Los Angeles Unified School District, which runs from Jefferson all the way to the ocean, includes 3 independent cities. In addressing inequities, academic, economic inequities, funding inequities in Los Angeles are issues that I feel are major issues in Los Angeles Unified School District. If a youngster's in a 3rd grade classroom and the teacher's not quality and the youngster gets behind a year, you know how many years it's going to take? Over 7 years to make up for that 1 year. Remember, every time you go up to another grade, you're learning new skills. You've got to play on the older skills. So if you don't have the older skills, it's harder to acquire the newer skills because they're all in what I call a spiral context. So one teacher can destroy a youngster's potential for either graduating or for dropping out significantly if we allow that to happen.
My name is Ruslan Ali. I'm the Executive Director of the Education Trust West. We are an advocacy organization that works on the policy level, the school level, the community level, all with a laser focus on closing the achievement gap that hobbles California's Latino, African American, and low-income students. The research is quite clear. Nothing matters more to student achievement than the quality of the instructor in front of their classroom. Poor kids and kids of color are far more likely to have teachers that are newer to the profession, years 1 and 2 of their profession. Poor kids and kids of color are far more likely to be taught by under-credentialed teachers, teachers that don't hold a credential. Far more likely to be taught by teachers that have no subject matter expertise in their profession. In other words, you will find teachers teaching math that aren't qualified to teach math. We call these the teacher quality gap. And we cannot be serious about closing the achievement gap unless we close the teacher quality gap. The teacher quality gap, though, is not just about credentials and years of experience and higher education degrees. The teacher quality gap, as it turns out, is about money, and lots of money.
One of the biggest injustices is when you have a 3rd grade student that happens to have an unqualified teacher. They don't have the experience to teach, but that child fails 3rd grade. What happens to that child? When we have a 60% turnover rate of teachers and principals in our inner city schools, and we have a 3rd grade child at the most critical grade of elementary school that happens to have one of those teachers who's unqualified, who is uncertified, how are we going to help that student catch up and make it successfully through high school?
I can remember being principal at LACO. Every semester I had to hire 20 new teachers. Every year. I mean, every year I'd hire 20 new teachers. 20 new teachers. And it was a revolving door because many of the young ones come out of college not prepared to teach. Universities aren't doing their job in some cases. And then they come there and then they feel they're not getting the support, or